You made $300 in 6 months. Your friend made the same amount in 2 weeks. You quit. 3 months later, your friend is making $4,000 a month. You are back at your job wondering what went wrong. Here is what went wrong. You left right before the curve bent. Everyone talks about compound growth. Almost nobody talks about the part that kills most people, the part before things compound. This is the phase where effort and results are completely disconnected, where you work for weeks and see almost nothing, where every signal tells you to stop. The problem is not laziness. The problem is that our brains are not wired to handle exponential processes. We expect linear returns. We put in 10 hours, we expect 10 units of result. But compound systems do not work that way. And this mismatch between expectation and reality creates a psychological trap, one that most people never escape. Let me show you what the first 6 months actually look like. Month 1, you start a side project. YouTube channel, freelance work, investment portfolio, online store. Does not matter. You put in 20 hours, you make $40, maybe $70. You feel excited. This could work. Month 2, another 20 hours. You make $60. Wait, that is barely more than last month. But you're fine, still learning. Month 3, $75. 25 hours of work this time. Your hourly rate is getting worse. You start wondering if this makes sense. Month 4, $80. You put in 30 hours because you thought more effort equals more results. It does not. Not yet. Now you're frustrated. This is where most people quit. They look at the graph of their income. It is almost flat, a tiny slope that barely moves. They compare it to the effort they put in. The gap is huge. So they conclude the system is broken, or they are not good enough, or the market is saturated. None of that is true. What is true is that they're looking at the wrong part of the curve. Compound growth has 3 phases. Phase 1 is the flat line. Phase 2 is the bend. Phase 3 is the explosion. Most people never see Phase 2 because they quit during Phase 1. Here is what they don't understand. The flat line is not a sign of failure. It's a feature of the system. Think about a savings account. You put in $1,000. At 8% annual return, you make $80 the first year. $80 for 12 months of waiting, that feels like nothing. But in year 10, that same account makes $214. You did not work harder, the system did. In year 20, it makes $466. Same effort, different phase of the curve. The mistake is judging the system during Phase 1 using Phase 3 expectations. Content creators do this constantly. They post 15 videos, get 200 subscribers. Look at creators with 200,000 subscribers making $10,000 a month, and they think, I'll never get there. Wrong comparison. Those creators also had a Phase 1. They also made 15 videos that went nowhere. The difference is they made video 16, and video 50, and video 100. Somewhere between video 50 and video 100, the algorithm shifted. A video hit, the channel got momentum. Subscribers brought more subscribers. Views brought more views. The curve bent. But none of that happens if you stop at video 15. The same pattern shows up everywhere. Freelancers who quit after 3 clients. Investors who sell after the first dip. Newsletter writers who stop after 8 editions. They all leave during the flat line. And here's the cruel part. The flat line doesn't feel like progress. It feels like waste. Every hour you put in feels like it's disappearing into a void. You write an article, 10 people read it. You write another, 12 people read it. Another, 15 people. The growth is so slow it feels insulting. But that's not how the math works. Going from 10 readers to 15 is 50% growth. If that rate continues, you're at 100 readers in a few months. At 500 readers in less than a year. At 5,000 readers in 2 years. But our brains don't see 50% growth. They see 5 people. 5 people feels like nothing. This is the gap. The psychological gap between what is actually happening and what it feels like is happening. And this gap creates doubt. You start questioning everything. Maybe the niche is wrong. Maybe the platform is dying. Maybe you should try something else. TikTok instead of YouTube. Stocks instead of real estate. coaching instead of products. So, you switch, and the timer resets. You're back at month 1, back on a new flat line, and the cycle repeats. Let me be clear about the mistakes that kill momentum. Mistake 1, unrealistic timelines. People think 6 months is a long time. It is not. 6 months is barely enough to learn the basics of any system. Most income snowballs take 18 to 36 months to bend. If you're not prepared for that, you will quit early. Mistake 2, changing strategy too fast. You try SEO for 3 months, no results. So you switch to paid ads. 2 months later, you try organic social, then email marketing, then partnerships. You're not testing strategies. You are running from discomfort. Every strategy has a flat line. If you keep switching, you collect flat lines. You never reach the bend. Mistake 3, confusing slow with stopped. Slow progress feels like no progress, but they're not the same. Going from $50 a month to $80 a month is slow, but it's 60% growth. If you quit because it feels too slow, you're quitting during acceleration. You just can't see it yet. Mistake 4, optimizing for motivation instead of systems. Motivation is useless here. Motivation dies on day 12 of the flatline. What matters is systems. Can you publish 1 video a week without thinking about it? Can you send 1 pitch a day on autopilot? Can you invest $200 a month no matter what the market does? Systems survive the flatline. Motivation does not. Mistake 5, watching the wrong metrics. If you're tracking total income during month 3, you will feel despair. If you're tracking process consistency, you will feel fine. Did you do the work? Yes. Then you are on track. The results lag behind the work. Always. If you judge success by lagging indicators during the early phase, you will misjudge everything. So, how do you actually get through this phase? First, set a realistic time horizon. Decide right now that you will commit for 24 months minimum. Not because it always takes that long, but because if you decide in advance, you remove the daily decision fatigue. You stop asking, should I quit, every time you have a bad week. Second, build systems that don't require willpower. Automate investments, batch content creation, set recurring tasks. The goal is to keep moving through the flat line without having to convince yourself every single day. Third, track leading indicators, not lagging indicators. Don't track income in month 4. Track actions. Did you publish 3 times this week? Did you reach out to 5 potential clients? Did you add $100 to your investment account? Those are the metrics that matter early. Results will follow, but only if the actions stay consistent. Fourth, expect the doubt. It's not a sign you're on the wrong path. It's a sign you're in the flat line. Everyone feels this. The difference between people who break through and people who quit is not confidence, it's persistence through doubt. Fifth, use external accountability. Tell someone your 24-month plan. Join a group, hire a coach, share progress publicly. It's much harder to quit when quitting is visible. And sixth, study the curve. Look at other people's income reports. Read case studies. You will see the same pattern everywhere. Flatline, 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 bend, explosion. When you see it enough times, you stop thinking you're the exception. And finally, define your kill criteria in advance. Not vague feelings, specific metrics. If I don't have 50 clients after 18 months, I will reevaluate. If I don't have 1,000 subscribers after 100 videos, I will change something. If my portfolio doesn't match index returns after 5 years, I will adjust. This is not giving up. This is strategic thinking. But the criteria have to be set before the doubt kicks in. Otherwise, doubt sets the criteria, and doubt always says, quit now. The income snowball is real, but the part before the snowball is brutal. Most people quit because they think the flat line means failure. It doesn't. It means you're early. The curve always bends, but only for the people who stay long enough to see it. If this hit you, drop a comment with where you are in your flat line. Subscribe if you want more financial reality without the motivation garbage. And hit like if you're committing to the next 6 months, no matter what it looks like.
See you in the next one.